Hi, and welcome to the Banker's View from Sibos video series, looking at all the hot topics here in Toronto this year. I'm Joy Macknight, Deputy Editor at the Banker, and I'm joined by Pascal Augé, who is Head of Global Transaction and Payment Services at Société Générale. Pascal, thanks so much for joining us
Good
today.
afternoon, Joy, and thank you for meeting you again.
What would you say are the hot topics here at Sibos?
Fortunately enough, it's a Sibos without a crisis on the horizon, so it's almost a Sibos as normal. I think there are mainly two main topics. The first one is about shaping the future together, so it's about creating better client experiences. And on the other side, it's about cybersecurity and the risks that are attached to our businesses and how best to meet them.
So how can banks best protect themselves from the cybersecurity risk?
There is one piece which is high in the agenda this year, which is of course the CSP, and getting our ducks in a row in terms of adapting our systems to manage fraud better. So what CSP is providing us is just a Lego brick that fits within our more global anti-fraud campaigns. And that's also where, pulling together the banks, as it's the role of SWIFT anyway, is a good way to meet those challenges.
Obviously, know your customer compliance, or KYC, is also a big pain point for banks. What is the solution for that, and will it be blockchain?
Blockchain can be a way to meet that, but I wouldn't put blockchain top of the agenda. It's just something in the toolbox that may help us, but essentially what we will need to do is, as we have been doing for the last 3 years now, move towards a more integrated KYC platform. That's where SWIFT provided some help. The CSP can fit as well in the KYC approach, because we need to see KYC less an administrative task, but just to embed into that risk assessment, also on the cybersecurity side. And the self-attestation for CSP, actually going forward, the next 2 to 3 years, should be also part of the KYC approach of our counterparts, because being aware of how sensitive, how exposed one of our counterparty is, from a security point of view, from an IT security point of view, will be as important as just gathering data and documents. So for me, the next generation of KYC should be something much broader, integrating the IT element, which is also a full change of paradigm for us, because it means that also the people we give the KYC task to must be also very well versed in IT security to understand what is at stake.
Okay. And another trend that's happening, especially in Europe, is around the move to open banking and open APIs, application programming interfaces. Do you think that the opportunity will outweigh the risk that poses?
Difficult to assess. If we're asked, take the example of PSD2, for example, we see the risk first, and that's where sometimes the European Commission or the regulators are a bit contradictory. They want to open up the system, at the same time they're expecting from us to be at the highest level of security and anti-fraud. So I think the matter is not solved yet. At the same time, it's a risk. At the same time, this new opening gives us also the opportunity to leverage off what is our strength as banks, which is the fact that we can secure the data of our clients, we can secure the way their deals are processed. And for me, it calls us into the very core of our DNA, which is we are seen still by our clients as a trusted partner when it comes to securing the data, and that's what we will never compromise on.
Okay. My last question is really around the future of payment services, and what role will banks have in that future?
There again, I think what we must always keep in mind is that we have a good asset, which is the trust that our clients are with us in terms of securing the data, in terms of the confidentiality that we are, providing them with. So you can leverage that off whilst providing much better and much more transparent client experience. There again, if I draw a parallel with one of the SWIFT initiatives, that's what GPI stands for. It was something that SWIFT developed at the request of the banks, which is to definitely go and meet the fintechs, the new entrants, on something they are good at, which is the client experience. So that particular initiative, for example, it provides a state-of-the-art app where the clients can track its flows, where the clients can see what kind of fees are taken by each and every player, and at the end of the day, it sees that its flows are managed within 2 hours, which is exactly the kind of customer experience that they were asking for. It's always the same thing. We start from the pain points. The pain points, as expressed by the clients, where why don't we have with the banking industry the kind of thing we have with FedEx or Amazon, I can track what my delivery is. Yeah, finally we are providing that in payments as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your insights, Pascal.
Thank you, Joy.
Nice to
It's been
see
a
you
pleasure
again.
as usual. Thank you.